Details this morning in a story we've been following. U.S. Auto Sales is officially shutting down operations for good. Last week, we told you the dealership had temporarily closed for business and
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be diving into the state of car dealerships and what's happening behind the scenes. Car dealerships are in a lot of trouble. Over the past year, many dealers have shut down. In fact, the only reason more haven't gone under is because of financial assistance from auto manufacturers. Stellantis, for example, has been helping a lot of their auto dealers with increased incentives, but because they've been stuck with a lot of overpriced inventory and they just can't rid of it at the current prices. And so Stellantis has been offering tons and tons of cash incentives to help these dealerships get a lot of this inventory off their lots. And it's been a problem because a lot of these dealers are dealing with interest on the loans they took out to get these vehicles. Normally, this would mean cheaper prices, but in most cases it doesn't. There's an old saying in the stock market, and that is that the markets can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. And this is exactly what's going on in the car market. I know a lot of YouTubers will disagree and try to make deductions using, market-based principles, but the car market doesn't care. It's irrational and it's greedy.
Dealerships are starting to close down. Look around.
So many franchise dealerships within the U.S. right now are filing for bankruptcy. Many of them are closing their doors. We had over 80 franchise dealerships go bankrupt, shut their doors permanently here.
Dealerships are closing all across the United States.
Car dealers and manufacturers will go down with this ship before they consider changing their course and cutting prices. And this means higher prices for us customers. And unlike what some car YouTubers might tell you, fewer dealerships doesn't mean lower prices. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Many dealerships are waiting for their competition to go out of business so they can use that leverage to keep prices high. Fewer dealerships mean less competition, which means higher prices for you and me. Let's not forget that dealerships are raking in profits from high used car prices and their service departments. This gives the remaining dealers a significant advantage. They don't have to entirely rely on the new car sales. And you combine the used car sales with the fact that auto manufacturers are cutting down production and allotment to a lot of these dealers, and you got a recipe for short supply and inflated prices. You see, contrary to what you might think, these car dealers do have some strategy behind their pricing. They will do anything and everything to maintain current prices, and the current strategy that's going on right now is just to lower supply. I've been noticing this more and more with dealers around my area. It's all about short inventory, and we're not talking about high demand brands like Toyota and Honda. Even Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Nissan dealerships in my area are running low on stock. This isn't a coincidence, it's their strategy. This tactic aligns perfectly with what I mentioned multiple times called the margin strategy. Since COVID, the focus has shifted from selling more cars to selling fewer cars at higher prices. But here's the problem. This strategy only works up to a certain point. There's a limited number of customers willing or able to pay those high prices. On top of that, there is a limited number of dealerships you can have with that kind of strategy. You cannot have a margin-based strategy with dealership numbers anywhere close to the pre-pandemic levels. A lot of these manufacturers want to believe that. They desperately want it to work. They would love to have their cake and eat it too. So they let their greed dictate their thinking. Plus, they know it's the dealers and auto workers that will have to deal with most of the consequences anyway. And that means more and more dealerships are going to have to go out of business. And these dealerships are just going to have to go down with the ship. They can't lower prices to attract more customers. And you might be wondering why. For starters, a lot of the manufacturers would not allow them to do that. There's a certain limit as to how low of a price you can advertise to consumers. But beyond that, this would create even more negative equity for previous buyers, delaying any future purchases. Add to that the fact that many new potential customers are priced out by either high prices or high interest rates. Auto manufacturers just don't care. To them, these high prices, even if they are causing a lot of friction with the dealers, are worth it in the long run. It means less auto workers, less cost per vehicle, and more leverage against consumers because car supply will always be low. They can dictate this because the dealerships have no choice. They are just the middleman and have no say in the matter. And you can see why dealerships are in a tough spot. But let's be clear, dealerships deserve every bit of this. I have zero sympathy for them. Many are still charging over MSRP with markups and ridiculous add-ons. Many dealers in my area, in fact, still use bait and switch tactics when it comes to advertising. They advertise one price, but as soon as you come in, they will say they don't have any vehicle in that trim and try to offer higher trims. So, in all honesty, I could care less if they all went bankrupt. But here's the reality, though. More of these dealers going bankrupt will likely lead to even higher prices in 2025. I know a lot of YouTubers are saying otherwise, and I hope they're right, but based off of what I'm observing, I just don't see it. Even Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealerships in my area are limiting inventory and refusing to budge on prices. And it's not just them. I couldn't even get a local Nissan dealer to lower a price on a Nissan Rogue. A Nissan Rogue, okay? This isn't a RAV4. This isn't some in-demand, highly sought-out vehicle. This is a Nissan Rogue, and they're not budging the price on that. And so this is a reality, guys. This dealership model, this margin-based strategy, it is what it is, and consumers are the ones paying the price. If you're planning to buy a new car in 2025, brace for higher prices. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And have you been experiencing these high prices firsthand? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more updates from Car Market News. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.